Hello, Commanders! Welcome to the command table. I am Mathermar, and this is my follow-up to the video from 2 weeks ago about the bomb train for Jormag. We had some minor complications occur that I thought were worth mentioning, so we're going to show you the problems that we encountered and how we fixed them, and we're also going to show you an assassin build for those of you that are struggling with the bomb train. So if you like what you see on this channel, please do like and subscribe. Also, if you want notifications when I drop new videos, feel free to hit that notification bell. And if you have any comments, or if you have a build that can beat the boss, the fewer elixirs the better, please let me know below and we'll take a peek at it. So let's show you what we're working with here. This was my SR10 runs right here. Now you'll notice I've got Plaguebearers up top. I thought, hey, I can switch out those Plaguebearers for the direwolves that I had before, and that'll boost the damage even more. Turns out all it did was mess up the alignment of that earth elemental. Let's show you right here. Okay, so now watch the earth elemental as he walks up. Okay, let's just back that up a smidge. Okay, there we go. Okay, so watch this earth elemental right here. He's not going to get high enough. And we're going to clip him, boom. And you'll also notice right here that one bomb is going way ahead of the others. So I had a run speed issue that I forgot to fix. So you always want to check your Powerstones to make sure that everybody's run speed is the same. So the Plaguebearer placement, I tried to adjust it a little bit, and I switched the Power Stone on that front bomb, so now you see they're all moving. But for whatever reason, that Earth Elemental doesn't get far enough up to where he's hitting. If he's engaged mid-swing, going after the unit that he gets closest to, he won't turn around and smash everything else. But since the bombs got closer to him than the Plaguebearer, he switches around and smashes everything. So I gave up on the Plaguebearers, and this one, I want you to notice the wolf placement. So let's take a peek at this real quick. You'll notice this wolf right here is the closest to the front. This wolf up here is slightly back. Now, when I put these wolves in there, I had to put them in fresh because I had the Plaguebearers from before. So this is something new that that we're going to be mentioning about this arcane archer right here. Now watch its shot as it starts and as we go through, and we will show you that. Boom! Okay, clips the pyre, which delays that ignition. Now another thing to notice, if we slide back here, these Plaguebearers, I have them here so that they pick up the assassins right away, but I've learned that you can just put them all the way up to the top and line them along the top, and the assassins will still gravitate to them anyway, and it'll draw them further away. So notice how the assassins work their way through those Plaguebearers all the way down to where they're hitting the pyre. So that was another thing that I had to resolve. But again, we're learning something new every time we do this. So let's see, direwolves. Okay, so yeah, the direwolves placement, we need to resolve that. So now the Plaguebearers, let's rewind this one. The Plaguebearers, I moved them to the top and bottom. Now watch the assassins. They're going to go all the way down to the bottom and all the way up to the top, and that's as far away from the pyre as you can possibly get them. So the other issue that we have is with the direwolves. I changed their placement. Now we've got this one closest to the front, so this arcane archer is going to be shooting this way instead of this way. Now the issue that's been presented now is that this direwolf is not close enough to this earth elemental. It doesn't pull it far enough away because it's too far back from that front line. So pay close attention to that. The arcane archer shoots through the top, so we're clear there, but that lower direwolf is not close enough to the earth elemental. So that was the issue that I encountered there. Then we have alignment of that wolf. Okay, now pay attention to this placement. Okay, top wolf closer to the front, bottom wolf barely back, like just micro back from that top wolf, and you have it right in between these bottom two shield bearers. Now you want it to be kind of right in between them, but gravitate towards the lower one. So watch as this one plays through. Okay, arrow goes high, so we clear the pyre, and that lower wolf is catching that earth elemental and the bombs sail by. So that's solving all of the issues that we've had. One of the issues that I had was that I upgraded my wolves, so the realignment would have been different anyway. So that's another thing you want to pay attention to, is if you're going to upgrade a unit, it may change the placement of the bodies within that unit. So this is another follow-up, same deal. We finally had the position worked. I did add run speed 3 to the dire wolves just to get them moving closer to that earth elemental and to have it turn around. And it was consistent every time after this. So my SR10 is totally resolved. Then at least I think it is. And then this happens. Okay. So everything was going great right up until he turns around and boom. So what I did is I made a micro adjustment. I just moved that entire pack down just a fraction. And now, oh, okay, that's SR15, hold on. And now it works every time. So you just got to be very particular about how those wolves end up on the battlefield. Now, if some of you are still not sure what I'm talking about when I say that, oh, and we'll show you this build here in a second. What I'm talking about is you take this pack of wolves, you move it off the battlefield, then you move it back on the battlefield, and it has a totally different formation. You'll notice that they're in a upward arch now. Take them off again, put them back on again, and now they're in a more tight formation with kind of a diamond shape. So you want to keep doing that until you get them into a position where you've got one wolf higher, another wolf just below it, but slightly back, just micro back from that top wolf so that the arcane archer hits that one. And then this bottom wolf is still close enough to the front that it can pull that earth elemental up. So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying for the positioning for those dire wolves. Okay, so that covers the SR10. Now we're on to SR15. So this was my first go. I haven't even changed this from the last couple of runs. Now I did this before I learned about my Plaguebearer adjustment, because you look how close those assassins are. But hadn't changed anything since the last time I ran this. I just left that one untouched. And then this one, we learned that the Spear of Cataclysm doesn't really help much. It hardly ever hits the boss anyway, so it's there just to maybe get a lucky hit. But look at that. It knocks those assassins back, and they aren't following the Plaguebearers anymore. So there's the potential that if that hits wrong, it could knock something into your pyre and reduce the amount of uptime for your full damage. So I would actually recommend using against using Spear of Cataclysm. It can just be very dangerous. Okay, so this one I moved the assassin, or not the assassins. Sorry, I'm talking about assassins. Plaguebearers. I moved them. These ones are just slightly down. These ones are just slightly up. And the assassins start right here, and they start working their way back through and around back up to the top. And this also catches the Risen Warriors a little better too. So not that we're too terribly concerned about the Risen Warriors. We usually accomplish everything we need to in the amount of time that we have. But that keeps everything further away from the pyre. So we'll go ahead and play through this. Nice and smooth every time. And it's basically just a rinse, lather, repeat at this point. You just spin and you get the heart. Again, I was still using the Spear of Cataclysm at this point, but I think I'm going to drop it entirely. Okay, now let's move on to our assassin build. So I'll show you what we're working with here. We've taken our Plaguebearers, we've upgraded them as far as we can, and we have given them all the best protection that we can give them, and all of them have corrupted slow except for these 2 front ones that I put speed on, because I want them to just rush right into those frontline units. Then, for the assassins, we've put all 4 of them. I've upgraded them as far as I can get them evenly across the board. I put the best damage stone that I could put on them, which is the corrupted damage 3, and I'm using Unshackle. So the reason that we're using Unshackle is because we have the Earthquake debuff, and we do not want to occupy the elixir slot with the force resistance elixir. So you look at the rest of the build, we have the Earthquake, and we have freezing attacks. So since we have freezing attacks, and since this is Jormag and he emits a freezing pulse, we're going to be using the elemental resistance elixir, and we're also using immunity, which will buy my assassins hopefully enough time to get the job done. Then, depending on if you need it or not, you can throw on the power elixir, but I'm actually not sure that I needed it. I actually ran this without elixirs to see how it went, and we will show you how that did. So this was the SR10. Now, okay, just a quick note. You'll notice where my assassins are here compared to where I had them on the setup, the current setup that I'm using. They're a little further back, and I adjusted them, moving them forward to where the assassins are kind of right in the center of the pyre. At least the front assassin is right in the center of the pyre on the top and the bottom assassin groups. So I'll show you how that goes. Okay, no elixirs. He was at 52%, I believe, to start with, and we're able to knock him out before he kills everything. So you're going to get about 50% of his health without elixirs if you're using this setup. Now, I added elixirs, and I moved the assassins forward, changed their skins too, for whatever that's worth. But you'll notice I'm at 100%, and he just starts screaming down. Boom. Totally toast. And my thoughts are, I don't even need that power elixir. But you want the elemental resist because you've got 2 frost wizards there that are going to freeze your dudes even if you've got immunity. And you want the Unshackle to keep you from getting that stun from Earthquake. So if you're watching this video well into the future and we're not in this era anymore where you don't have Unshackle, then you may need to drop the power elixir for the force resistance, and that might still get the job done. Like I said, I probably don't need the power elixir anyway. I just threw it on there to make sure I got the key. I figure if I'm already going to be spending 2 elixirs anyway, I might as well spend that 3rd one to make sure I don't have to spend an extra key to get my S+ chest. So there you go. The other artifacts that I have, the Skull of the Necrolord and the Devourer, those really aren't necessary. You get the job done in those first 10 seconds. The Plaguebearers are sufficient. But I put the Skull of the Necrolord on there because there really isn't any artifact that helps the assassins. They're dead before they get to that 10-second mark, or right as they get to the 10-second mark. So Ring of Unity isn't going to help them. So I just figured, hey, the Plaguebearers are there. If they die, they'll spawn a skeleton. That'll keep everything busier for longer. Now, does it work on SR15? Let's see how we do with no elixirs. Okay, again, you'll notice that I've moved the assassins up. They're about halfway up that pyre. And just a tight pack, and we will see how that goes. Okay, this is no elixirs. We started at 100% health. And screaming right along, we get down 52% of the way. So if you don't want to use any elixirs at all and you have a ton of keys kicking around, this may be a way for you to do it if you don't like the bomb train. Does it work for 100% with elixirs on SR15? Again, all of my assassins are level 11. They've all got the highest possible damage stone with Unshackle. And look at him melt. Boom. He's toast. So look at how much further beyond the heart we got. We probably don't need the power elixir. But again, I threw it on there. I figured it was just safer to spend a 15 gem elixir than to spend a 40 gem key. So to top it off. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. Hopefully that helps you if you're still having some issues with your bomb train, and if you've just given in on the bomb train and you just don't want to do it anymore, this assassin build might do it for you, even though it's a little more expensive. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, support the channel that way. We're really appreciative of all that you guys do to support the channel. We'll have some more content for you soon. Thanks, guys.